How to deal with someone in a lower vibration than you? This is a very, very good question that I just got asked today. And how do you speak to someone in a lower vibration? What do you do? What do you say? How do you inspire them or empower them? Let's get started today.
Yeah, I'm inspired. I'm inspired.
Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumat Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. Today what we're talking about is how to speak to someone in a lower vibration than you. Now, first of all, you don't want to even assume that somebody is in a lower vibration than you unless you have like certain cues. Maybe they're complaining all the time, maybe they're frustrated or negative, and you're just going off based on those cues that they might possibly be in a vibration that is lower than yours. What do I mean by that? What does vibration mean? Vibration is your state of resonance, your state of frequency. Okay, you could be resonating very high in a high vibration, which is associated with peacefulness, love, joy, abundance, okay, gratitude, these kinds of things, or a lower vibration, which is fear, guilt, shame, anger, frustration, all these different types of things, right? So, first and foremost, you don't want to assume that someone is just in a negative vibration just because they're complaining or being bitter for that one moment. You can always pull them up, and the thing is, first thing you could be doing, and this is something almost like a quality check, you're seeing if this person is higher in vibration or not, right? How animated are they when they're talking? Are they overly animated, which is like sometimes, you could get really blown back by someone in a very high vibration. Is they have so much energy, or they have so much energy but they know how to maintain it and keep it chill, like a kind of a hot warm coal, right, as you're making a barbecue or something, as opposed to like a wild brush fire of energy. The first thing you need is a concentration, okay, a concentration on the topic, a concentration of the task at hand, which is communicating with this individual. Now, for some, this might be a very controversial topic, or they might not understand it or weave it into their own context, but this is how I'm going to speak it to you. You've got to be self-realized, okay? Self-realized meaning you got to realize your soul in this incarnation, okay? You got to understand what it is that you're about, what is your mission on this planet, and how does that person even add to that mission in any way. If they're not adding to the mission, there's not really any point for you to be there, is there? But maybe they're teaching you some lesson. They're becoming a reflection to you of maybe your past self, and that's why you're getting so annoyed, right? This is shadow work. This is what we come to discover, that the things that annoy us about other people are actually irritating traits within ourselves that annoy us. So you got to have concentration, understanding of the different realms if you want to shift someone into a different realm. And 3, just a basic understanding, okay? An understanding, a compassion for the other person. Like, hey, this person was once a small child, completely lost. They were a dorky kid in high school. Then they grew up, they went to college perhaps, or maybe they're in college right now, right? And you get their upbringing, and you start seeing their entire journey rather than who they are in that very moment of low vibrational energy. Now, how do you protect yourself? This is what I recommend, as I was saying, for the empaths: a white, bright sunlight coming from your heart, going out like this, and then around you like a force field. This is what we call shielding up. So shielding up is going to help you as an empath, as anybody who, gets too absorbed into other people's storylines or energies, or you get confused, like, is this my thoughts or another person's thoughts? Is this my emotions or another person's emotions that I'm feeling and getting, I'm absorbing slowly? For a lot of HSPs, or like hypersensitive people, or people who are very hyper intuitive, they can't get this aspect. And being around in a very crowded, noisy, or public place, it starts to overwhelm you because you might have that possible telepathic kind of energy going on, and you start feeling like frustrated, overwhelmed all of a sudden, right? And you're asking yourself, why is this happening? Shielding up is a very, very good exercise. So when you're in the mall, whenever you are anywhere, shielding up just allows you to feel that sense of safety and protection. You could also whistle to call upon your guides, okay? Whistling is a really good activity. So if you can't whistle, just hum Okay, do something to keep yourself in that mood. Sometimes snapping your fingers help. Clapping your hands or just clapping, okay, helps because it's a symbol of celebration that could quickly raise your vibration up right afterwards. So you have a conversation with them, yes, yes, yes. And then as you leave, you go. Think about two objects colliding, right? The bigger object is obviously going to win, just like a frame is going to win over a weaker frame. So it's basically, according to one of the energies that I work with, frame control is just perspective control, okay? You got to understand that somebody else is coming from their unique perspective. It has nothing to do with you at times, right? It's just their reality and what they're projecting onto you, right? An example of projection is like someone is cheating on someone and then they try to single you out for cheating. That's a projection, okay, got it? When there's attack coming at you, there's always some kind of a justification. Like if there's ever like any impulse or instinct of like, is there any shady behavior happening? That's just because you haven't made sense of it. Once you make sense of it in your mind, you oftentimes let it go. But because you haven't made any sense of what is happening and you're creating your own, concocting your own storyline based on this, that's what's really frightening you and making you feel, scared. So when you meet this other person, first of all, get into concentration with them. Imagine that your heart and their heart is slowly connecting and there's like a thread connecting you two. And then what I want you to do is something called Mulabanda, right? Which is basically you squeeze your perineum muscle, you squeeze it up, you squeeze your belly up. So basically what you do is you bring it more towards from the lower chakras to the upper chakras. So it's much more of this energy rising, right? Rising more towards the heart and holding that energy up as you're communicating with them. So you can actually, in a very heightened state or a peak state, you can do this Mulabanda. You can do this and hold it, and you'll notice that this person is slowly starting to shift out of their lower energy into a higher energy. It's very bizarre how this happens, okay? But you gotta try it out. Don't just take it from my video. Actually try and experiment with this, because usually they start to shift realms from a state of lower vibration into a higher vibration, one that's more calm or more understanding. Just try it out. Also, there's something in NLP called pacing and leading. You could try this. So let's say they're angry at you, you become angry back, and then you slowly start changing the pace towards a more calmer tone and speaking to them from that tone of caring, compassion, understanding, but strength at the same time. That starts to change their energy as well. You'll start to notice. So if you have hatred inside of your heart, if you have greed inside your heart, anger, frustration, bitterness, resentment, all this stuff, they cause little heart walls and they bring you into a lower vibration. So dealing with your own baggage, in a sense, is going to be really, really important to heal all that stuff, all that gunk that's in the subconscious mind. When you read a book and at first you don't understand it, but from a different level of your life, maybe as you're more mature or you're at a different level of consciousness, or right after you meditated, you read the book again or something, right? And you notice that there is a difference in what you missed. There's some datum there that you understood differently. Okay, this is the power of raising or working with your consciousness. Ignorance is basically a lack of proper knowledge. That doesn't mean we have to become like the librarian of the world and start, spewing our knowledge out at everybody. It is a privilege to learn from you. And so you don't have to go around with unsolicited advice, constantly telling everybody like, this is how you gotta live and this is what you gotta do and this is what. Hey, if they're not on your team, if you haven't built rapport with them, if they don't like you as a person, they're not gonna listen to you, okay? And it's how you say it too, it's not what you say. So how you say it is also gonna raise somebody's vibration. What you say could be fine, those are just words. But how you say it that's why we have motivational speakers. They have a motivational voice. If you hear it, you'll understand. I want you to wake up in the morning today and understand that it is a limitless and frustrationless day. As you evolve, you grow into the man or woman that you've always known is dormant within you. You see what I'm saying? That voice already uplifts you. It's a very almost like a voice in church, right? You hear the echoiness of the voice itself, and this is what they do in religious facilities. They have this kind of echoey amphitheater type of area that can cause this kind of rippling effect that it has on the subconscious mind. Okay, understand how all the religions talk, right? How the Christians talk, praying before your food, Sabbath, the Jews, right? Muslim, Ramadan. Just notice all the cultures and notice all of the different religions, right, that you can think of out there, and start to notice that oftentimes they just have a different definition. Okay, it's the same thing, it's the same frequency in a sense. Oh, it's love, it's surrender, devotion. But simply their definitions have changed. The interpretations have changed, right? They're different versions of the Bible, different versions of the Quran, okay? Understand that you are a different version of you right now. And in the future, to alter yourself, to create change, to make it happen, you got to understand that I am able to change. That, if you, let's say you start running, but you had a habit of playing video games. Now, as you start running, maybe your 4th, 5th week into a month, you start doing it every day, you start doing it less, and then you start looking at your video game controller or your Xbox or whatever, you start going, man, I wish I could. That's the universe testing you. That is passive challenge from the universe, giving you a fact that, hey, which reality do you want to choose? You can quantum leap in that very moment if you say no. You see, you can reality shift in that very moment if you say no to that control and you start running again. You get back into that habit change protocol. The real skill set here, guys, is learning to be with the person where they're at. It doesn't mean you become like them, okay? But you keep this storyline mindset, as I tell a lot of my clients, okay? They're reading you a TMZ article, a gossip magazine about you, and you're not the author of that story. That doesn't make sense, right? It's just a gossip article written about you. It's a rumor mill. Right? It has nothing to do with you. So another person's evil, delinquent comments towards you, you gotta be able to almost, jinx it in a sense. Right? Like, this does not enter my reality. This doesn't even register. It's like a triangle trying to get into a circle, right? It does not fit. And that's how you hold on to your own vibration. You imagine yourself as a specific shape and them as a different shape. And they're trying so hard but they have to morph into the triangle if they ever want to connect, really. You see what I'm saying? You never received all these signs and synchronicities all at once in your spiritual journey or your personal development journey, did you? You started to go on this journey, which is a long-term journey. It's a process, right? It's amazing we have this chanting in the background right now. It's perfect for this video. Another thing that you got to realize is to reach a mass of people or to reach someone who's at a low vibration or a group of people who are at a low vibration, you're going to have to speak the truth, because the truth registers as a universal language. Truth, you got to speak the truth and be the truth, and once you do that, you'll start to notice it registering with them finally. If you're trying to white lie or trying to, micromanage the situation or trying to control them, it's not going to work. But if you just speak the truth from your most harmonious self, you'll start to notice that they're suddenly starting to register it. Oh, I get it. Okay. No, that was real. I felt that was real as you said it. Okay, good. That will register. You got to make sense of things and you got to be real. You want to cause these positive vibrations, these positive momentum ripples, okay? The way you do that is you stay pleasant, not pleaser. When you're pleasant, it's about maintenance of your energy. When you're a pleaser, it's about draining of your energy, okay? You can be a pleasant person to be around, but as soon as you get into that codependence trap, you're going to be exhausted because you're putting on this persona fatigue, right? Of trying to pretend to be somebody that you're not, like fake smiling or all of these different things. And hey, sometimes that works as a very temporary trick. You guys have read my book TPM, the facial feedback hypothesis, right? You guys understand that, but at the same time, it's like we can't just keep pretending. We got to go to this cause, not the symptoms, right? Oftentimes we have this roof that is kind of preventing our spiritual or metaphysical growth. And that glass ceiling, the great thing about a glass ceiling is that it's transparent. One of my mentors told me this. So because there is a collective unconscious, because there's this collective shadow, as you're helping yourself, you're also helping others, okay? As you're helping others, you're also helping yourself. And this is how it works. So this collective consciousness is actually determining things for you. It's actually very difficult to change very fast, primarily because there is a collective consciousness, right? Everybody believes that hard work takes a long time and you have to be very determined for change to happen. And it must take weeks and months and years for you to get to where you're at. And I'm on this Vajrayana path, man, and it's lightning speed fast. We're almost at a level 7 as mages. Like, we're doing a lot of different protocols now. We were at a level 7, and now we're almost going towards a level 8, even before December. And it's only October right now, right? And so that's wild to me. And I'm not bragging or anything. I'm just telling you guys that, it is possible for you to alter your state of mind, basically alter your level of consciousness, right? So you're coming from this different level. And a lot of people might not register what you're saying sometimes at a higher vibration. So you might have to simplify and dumb some things down, right? Dial some things down and, tell it to them very clearly, very straight, very concretely. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't overcomplicate it. Just tell it to them straight up, right away. A little bit of that tough love at times works in the right moments. Let somebody else define your reality for you. That's not gonna work. But if you keep hearing it over and over and over again, you're gonna have to find different ways to block that out, right? And tune that out. Then they'll try to emotionally blackmail you sometimes, but I have no one to speak to, I'm so lonely, I'm so lost and depressed, I'm so blah, 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 okay? Going into this pity party mode rather than an actual acceptance and a receiving of good energy and good vibes, okay? So some people will actively block away their good vibes, okay? And when this happens, all you gotta do is just get them to open up. What do I mean by that? Open up their body language. So if they have their arms crossed like this, see if you can get them to do some exercise or stretch out like this or put their arms up on the roof, right? Or even just you mirror them like this and then you slowly take it down like this, and you'll start to notice as they feel more comfortable around you, they'll slowly start to open up their body language more and be less closed in on themselves, okay? Because a scared animal does that, right? But an animal who's your comrade and you're hunting together, it's a very different story. So you can raise people's vibrations up with yours. It is very possible, and I've done it. I mean, that's what I also do in a lot of my healing sessions. So I understand the power of that, but you've got to stay strong and you got to protect your own energy, okay? And sea salt, soap, baths, okay, or showers, really, really key, man. If you buy some sea salt soap, it's going to be really, really powerful for your aura as well. So that's just a secret tip that we share at Primal Sutra. Hope you're enjoying yourself today. Have an incredible day. May the flow be with you. Stay legendary. Let's get it to the upward spiral.